What if I told you that most of your emotional reactions only last 90 seconds? Not 90 minutes, not the whole day, just 90 seconds. And yet, people stay angry for hours, anxious for days, stuck in sadness for weeks. Why? Because after those first 90 seconds, something else takes over. And that something is the difference between emotional freedom and emotional control. Psychologist and neuroscientist Bolte Taylor explains that when an emotion is triggered, the chemical reaction in the brain lasts about 90 seconds unless we keep feeding it with our thoughts. Let that sink in. Your brain creates the wave, but your mind decides whether it becomes a storm. So yes, technically, your bad mood might just be your brain replaying the same trailer over and over. Today, we're breaking down what the 90-second rule really means, why emotions feel longer than they are, and how philosophers and psychologists agree on one powerful idea that most people ignore. And stay until the end, because the final insight explains why some people stay calm even under pressure. 1. The emotional wave. Every emotion begins as biology. Someone says something rude. You fail a test. You receive bad news. Your brain activates the amygdala, your emotional alarm system. Chemicals flood your body. Heart rate rises. Attention narrows. Your brain prepares you to react. This part is automatic. You don't choose it. But here's the cliffhanger. The brain stops this chemical process quickly. So why do feelings stay? 2. Thought loops keep emotions alive. After the initial reaction, your thinking brain steps in, and this is where most people lose control. Instead of letting the emotional wave pass, we start narrating. Why did they say that? What does this mean about me? What if this keeps happening? Psychologists call this rumination, and philosophically, this idea goes back thousands of years. Stoic thinkers like Epictetus taught that it's not events that disturb us, but our judgment about them. Meaning, emotion happens first, story comes second, and the story is optional. Have you ever replayed a conversation in your head and somehow felt worse every time? Exactly. 3. The 90-second choice point. Here's where the rule becomes powerful. Around 90 seconds after an emotional trigger, your brain gives you a hidden choice. Continue feeding the feeling or let it pass. Most people don't notice this moment, but psychologists studying emotional regulation show that awareness changes everything. When you simply notice, I'm feeling anger, I'm feeling anxiety, the intensity begins to drop. Not because you're suppressing it, but because you stop fueling it. And here's the surprising twist. Trying to fight emotions actually makes them stronger. 4. Why fighting feelings backfires. When you say, I shouldn't feel this, your brain reads it as danger and activates the emotion again. This is called the ironic process effect. The more you resist a thought or feeling, the more attention you give it. So the real strategy isn't control, it's observation. Philosophers would call this awareness. Psychologists call it emotional regulation. Different words, same wisdom. Your brain basically says, oh, we're still talking about this? Must be important. 5. The practical method. What to do instead. Next time emotion hits, step 1. Pause and breathe slowly. Step 2. Name the emotion without judging it. Step 3. Watch it like a wave. Most waves fade fast when you stop chasing them. This is not weakness. This is advanced emotional intelligence. Here's the big idea. The 90-second rule doesn't mean emotions are fake. It means they are temporary signals. You are not your anger. You are not your anxiety. You are the observer behind them. And once you realize that, everything changes. You respond instead of react. You pause instead of explode. You think instead of spiral. And suddenly, emotional control stops feeling impossible. It becomes a skill. The calmest people you know aren't emotionless. They just stopped extending the wave. If this helped you understand your mind a little better, hit the like button.
It helps more people discover psychology that actually changes lives. Comment below. What emotion is hardest for you to let go of? Anger, anxiety, or overthinking? And if you want more psychology and philosophy explained simply, subscribe to Brain Better.